Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander viewers are advised that the following program contains images of people who have died.
On July 16, 1945, this explosion was filmed in the desert of New Mexico in the US. It was the first ever nuclear test, and it changed the world forever. For years, scientists had been studying the energy within atoms, which are the tiny building blocks of everything. And in the 1930s, they realised that if you split the right kind of atom, you could create a chain reaction and release a huge amount of energy in a process called nuclear fission. Then World War II started, and so did the race to turn fission into a superweapon.
This is the gallant crew that rode the big super fort which carried the first atomic bomb to Japan.
The US and its allies got there first, and on August 6, 1945, the world saw the devastating power of nuclear weapons.
The bomb is dropped.
90% of the city of Hiroshima was destroyed, and tens of thousands of people died. 3 days later, another nuclear weapon was dropped on nearby Nagasaki. Japan surrendered, and World War II soon came to an end. Many were horrified by what happened in Japan, including scientists who helped to build the bomb.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
First you duck, and then you cover.
While the war was over, the fear of nuclear weapons remained. Countries around the world worked on building their own bombs and testing them. Most of the tests were carried out by the US and the Soviet Union, a group of states that included Russia. But there were also tests here in Australia. The United Kingdom tested 12 bombs at 3 sites: the Montebello Islands, Emu Field, and at Maralinga. At the time, many people didn't realise that even nuclear tests could have a devastating effect. Radioactive particles called fallout could poison the surrounding environment and cause long-term health problems in people who were exposed to it.
We all got sick, diarrhea, vomiting, then sore eyes, and I couldn't open my eyes. It was that sore.
What happened here happened in other places too. Like in the Pacific, where more than 300 weapons were tested by the US, France, and the UK. There were accidents where people were exposed to fallout and the environment was poisoned. As time went on, more people spoke out against nuclear tests, and they became less common. In 1995, a French test in the Pacific caused huge protests. And the next year, many countries signed an agreement to ban nuclear tests altogether. Now, they're really rare. Many countries have worked to reduce the number of nuclear weapons in the world, but there is still a lot out there. And that's why 10 years ago, the UN set aside August 29 as the International Day Against Nuclear Weapons Testing, to make sure we never forget the incredible, destructive power of these super weapons.